Hi all, I'm Vladimir, you're watching the BimDoc channel. Today we have very interesting trouble on that E61. It is 5 Series. Yes, it's not the newest car, but believe me, exactly same errors can occur on all type of BMWs. Today we'll be fighting with short circuit error. BMW has built-in protection against a short circuit in almost all the BMWs if some error occurs for a lot of times, for example in the Lightning model or in the footwell model. If the error occurs for 50 times, the ECU itself block the electricity support to exact bulb, and that it's not working anymore. Because BMW is highly technological brand, they have a lot of different protections built into their cars. For example, can you imagine what will happen if short circuit occurs in the wiring of your car? Of course, the car will fire up, and in the worst case you'll just burn some fuses. In the best case you'll just burn some fuses. In the worst case your car might just burn down. That's why it is highly important to have that protection built into your car. How does it work? Today we'll see on that E61 we have a short circuit error on the right parking light. I'll show you later. But actually it doesn't matter what type of the car it is, what chassis it is, what short circuit do you have, the method will be exactly the same. The first, how you'll recognize that you have the error, I'll show you in a car in a second. Basically you'll see an error that one of your bulbs is not working anymore. Of course you will try to replace the bulb, it will give you no result. You'll try to check all the wirings, everything, it will give you also no result. That's why the only solution is, number one, check the wiring that it is totally okay, it has been done on that car. And the second one, you either have to replace the Lightning ECU, that's the way how the BMW dealer will approach, or you have to use the Tool32 program, that's very powerful software to reset the software blocking on the hardware part of that car. How the system works in general. If car ECU, in our case Lightning model, if it detects that there is short circuit in the car in some part of the wirings, if it detects it for 50 times, it will just block the electricity output from the ECU to the bulb itself. It is made to protect against the fire. Why 50 times is built in? Because if you do something with your lighting, for example you take out the bulb, you by accident touch plus and minus together, the ECU will register the short circuit. That's why it is not beneficial to block the electricity output from the ECU to the bulb itself after the first try. That's why the BMW engineers have calculated that 50 times is enough. If the error is present for 50 times, it means that there is definitely some error present in the car, and for safety reasons it has to be turned off. So, as I told before, there are two ways how to solve that error. You either have to replace the ECU and code it afterwards, or you have just to go inside the ECU with a special software called Tool32 and reset the ECU to the, not the factory settings, but just reset the counter of short circuit. The procedure, how you can determine that you have that error. First, I'll show you, you will see with your eye that light is not working. Also, you will have error present in your car diagnostic system. You will see it on your iDrive. It doesn't matter what type of the car you have, the car will register that. Also, we'll run the diagnostics with the ISTA, and we will see that we have short circuit error present in our memory of ECU. And after confirming all that, I'll show you how you can reset the counter of the short circuit. The sun is very bright today, so it's very hard to see, but believe me, if you'll go closer, I have turned on the parking lights. You can see on the left light the parking lights are working, and if we go to our right light, so you can see the parking lights are not working. All except from that in that car is working perfectly fine. There is no more errors with the lighting system. It works really well. Also, let's go inside the car and see what errors are present there. If you open your iDrive, you go to service, parking lights are on, of course, because my ignition is on. I'll just start the car, and you can see the parking light front right failure. It means it's not working, as I told you. We have confirmed outside of the car that our lighting is not working properly. We have confirmed inside the car via the iDrive we have seen the error. Now it's time for proper diagnostics. For that one you can use, for example, your ICOM, that kind of device, DCAN cable, whatever. Most important to use a device that is able to work with the chassis you are working with. For that procedure it doesn't matter what type of device you're using, all of them will have the full access to the car. Let's start our ISTA and make a full diagnosis of the car. Of course, configure your computer according to the method you're connecting to the car. Is it Ethernet, ICOM, VCX or whatever other mean. I'll just make sure that my connections are right for that one. If you're changing the interface, sometimes restarting the ISTA is required. That's not a video about how to configure your ISTA to work with different devices. If you're interested in that kind of topic, leave a comment below. Write the platform you're interested in and also the hardware with what you are planning to work, and I might make a video about that also. Because if you know how to configure, it is way easier to connect to the car, not wasting your time. As you can see, with the proper connection, a car is being read out kind of fast and it doesn't take a lot of time. We have read out the car. Let's see what errors do we have. And we can see light model, side light, front right is faulty. Do we see anything else? Yes, we can see the short circuit and the error is present. Double click on that and we can see, okay, at the moment it's occurred only one time according to the ISTA, and in that error it's 20 times. But believe me, when we'll connect with the Tool32 we'll see the whole different picture. And actually we have only 2 errors with the Lightning ECU, so we have confirmed via the diagnostics that we have short circuit error present. So now let's go to the Tool32 and fix that error finally. We can close the ISTA. So what we're doing next, I'm launching the special software called Tool32. It is the standard package of all the BMW software, so it's not any secret software. You can get it free online without any issues. In that software we'll just have to go inside the ECU that's responsible for lighting, because we're working on E60, that's 5 series. It is installed LM lighting module is installed here. It is pre-facelift model, that's why it's lighting model number 1. If it was facelift model, we will have lighting model number 2, but principle will be exactly the same. We'll go inside the ECU and we'll just have to check all those short circuit counters that are installed, registered in the ECU. If they are equal to 50, we have to restore those. So let's connect with Tool32. Important notice, if you're working with the ICOM or VCX SE, you have to lock your ICOM with the Easy Connect. Without that, you will be unable to connect to the ECU. Starting Tool32, I'm always recommending to start that program with the administrator rights. You have to know to which ECU to connect, because it is E60. I'm typing over here in the search LM or lightning model, and you can see different ones. As you can see, we have LM60 because it's the E60 chassis. If we're working, for example, with E70 platform, over there will be FRM ECU and we'll have to choose FRM 70. If you're working with the F series, we'll have, for example, FEM ECU over there, and you can see the right PRG file. But now we're working with E60, so we're choosing the E60. So the first thing I recommend you to do after establishing the connection is identify is your connection is okay or not. For that, select identify over here and press it twice, or as I recommend, working in that software because it's really dangerous software. After you have highlighted the right function, you press job and start job only once, or just pressing the F5. And we can see we have communication is okay with that. That's good. In that software, it is fully in German. It has not been translated to English or any other languages. You have to find the proper job. For that job, we have to find the job called short circuit. In German, it is called in that way. I will not even try to pronounce that. You can just read it out. It's very complicated to pronounce. That's why I will not make that mistake. The function we'll need to use is reset the short circuit counter. But in order to reset, you have to know which value to reset. For that, we have different functions present over here, and we need to select, for example, let's try the counter max and that one. Highlight that function, press job, start job only once. And over here, I'll just extend the window for better convenience. What we can see here, we have the status is OK. It means we have the proper connection with the Lightning ECU, and over here is written all the possible bulbs that are connected to that ECU. And we can see that in that ECU, in that bulb, the counter is 50. Remember, in the beginning of the video, I told you if the counter is equal to 50, the ECU will block output of the electricity to that bulb, and that's why replacement of the bulb or changing the wiring or doing whatever will just not help. You need to replace the ECU or reset the counter. Of course, we'll reset the counter in order not to save some money of the client and not replace the ECU. Remember that parameter, it is the bulb, the parking bulbs of the right light. As you can see, the rect stands for light, and that will be for parking. Because that software is kind of complicated, it's just not enough to know the name of the bulb. You have to know the identificator of the bulb to work with that properly. How to find it out? In the same software, actually you can find all the needed information that is built into that software. So open up that window. Over here, I recommend you to scroll down and select the right field. As you can see, lamp number, and over here, remember there was the naming of the lamp, of the bulb. You have to find the right bulb in that field, and over here is the identification number of that bulb. That's why you have to find for the proper one. So if you'll scan the table, you'll see that the identification that we need to use is that one, 0x05. As you can see, the right bulb and the parking. If you don't remember the correct name, you can always minimize the window and you can see again. So this is the portion you're looking for, and does that look similar to that one? Yes, it is. So our ID is that one. So this one is the proper. What else do we need to do? We need to use another job or another task to do. That's why you can see reset short circuit, and over here we have to insert the argument to which bulb to apply. That's why we're looking for that. So our identificator was 0x05. You're putting that identificator over here, and now you can run job and start job only once. It writes OK to you, and actually that's done. That's it. So let's check if it's working or not. Remove the identificator from here. It's not needed anymore. So now let's see if we have fixed the error or not. Let's open up that job. Exactly as I told you, I do not recommend you to make double click. Just highlight one time and job and start job only once. And we can see that all zeros are present here. So the bulb should be working now. Let's see if we have fixed that in the car also. So let's see in the car, have we fixed that error or not? Have a look to the screen, please. If you go to service, no faults present here, so it means the bulb is working. Let's go outside the car and see if the power is now running into the parking light. Now let's check if we have a fix here. So the left light was working before that also, as you can see it's shining, but we had error with our right light, but now you can see it's working now, so it is a fix. And yes, we can call it a fix. The lights are working properly now. There was two ways how we were able to fix that, either replacing the ECU, which is expensive way, or just erasing the counter of short circuit inside the ECU. That was way faster and more professional way how to do that. But be aware, working with that software, the Tool32, it is very dangerous software. It can assess the parts of the memory called EEPROM that other software is not able to assess as easily. That's why we are pressing different buttons in that software. You can really easily break your car in such a way that it will be beyond the repair. If you are interested more how to work with that software called Tool32, I have already the video about that software, like a real detailed video. Yes, it's in Russian, but if you're interested in the same video in the English for a better understanding, leave a comment below and I might think about creating another video in English. And that's it for today. If you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, not to miss the very important information about how to fix your BMW or the fixed BMW of your neighbor. See you next time. Bye.